You guys are the worst. You should be more like Max. You guys need to be more like. Why don't Max doesn't make mistakes like this? Why can't you be more like Max?
Max has never made a mistake in his.
I don't think he has.
What the?
What planet are you guys on?
Last time on the last show, I trashed Max so
Oh,
bad,
okay.
I was mad about it. I thought this time I would do nothing but praise him. So the next time I can go back to trashing.
Oh, gotcha. So he learns that it's always fake.
What he needs to learn is that the grass is always shifting under his feet. I'm training him to be a great producer.
On his toes.
Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship the universe has with you if you're in games.
Yes. Okay. What's up, everybody?
I have kittens ready if you.
I've got the first one set up.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see where we look centered, or Halash and I too far apart.
No, you guys are actually good.
We're fine. You were fine
Halash
until
moved over.
I didn't move at all. I don't think I moved at all. I don't know. Maybe I did.
No, you guys are all set.
Okay. Sound good? Everything good?
Everything's good.
Camera's
now,
good?
Now it's
Oh.
all Gibson. What are you doing?
Gibson, you're just touching everything.
I don't even know where to look anymore. I wish
It's
you'd.
cut in half. I don't like when Halash is cut in half.
I really
Neither
wish
do I. I mean,
there was googly eyes on that camera so I know what to look at. Googly eyes.
Googly eyes on there?
There's not.
there are no
Still.
I mean, you can still, it's the circle in the center.
Yeah, but it's not. There's no googly eyes for me to look at.
That's the looking device. The looking device is the.
Do my best.
All right, do something about Gibson so we know where to look. They keep changing the camera. Anyways, okay, so this afternoon we are going to show you some of the racial disciplines that we haven't shown you yet. Now, for people that don't know, now that you pick a race and a class, when you pick the race, every race gets assigned a series of racial disciplines. They appear over here. The Ganeshan.
Look at that.
Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy. So here's the Ganeshan discipline. As you can see, theirs gives them a crap ton of dexterity, a little bit of intellect, and 0.1 substance.
Still a lot of intellect. Still a lot of intellect.
Yeah, I guess 90. They get more. The one I was looking at earlier only got 30. So 90 stat points or attribute points is a whole lot.
That is.
Coming. Yeah, that is a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people, some races get a lot out of the box. Some of them need to work a little further in the trees to get to the meat.
Yes, so subsistence means that they get more food or they get more chicken ticker per food that they eat, which is great.
They eat less.
They are drought and famine resistant, so to speak. They get the Ganeshan bloodline racial. Now, all of the bloodline passives in the new UI will have. It will be a passive here that is already loaded out for you and can't be swapped, but everybody gets it for free.
Does it take up a slot?
Yes, but we are giving them that slot.
So it's a free slot.
It's a free slot, but we just want to have it down there so you can tooltip down here and
No.
actually see what it's doing. Because right now, it's right here. And the Ganeshan bloodline, in fact, let me close that out. Your chicken ticker is no longer reduced by jumping or using stamina. Also grants double jump.
That's a really.
I don't know what he drew. What is it?
The googly eyes.
They're
Oh,
googly
it's
eyes.
actually googly eyes.
You put
Very-
googly eyes on the
So
camera.
many worse things.
They're
I'm almost
super
disappointed.
googly.
Wow.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Except
for now, you messed up the camera.
I'm here
That's
to
okay though.
To appease Blair and Halash.
Only
Thanks,
here
man.
To appease Blair and Halash.
Okay, so everybody's going to get one of these bloodline passives for whatever race you're on. There's what the Ganeshans does. The Ganeshan also gets Ganeshan Burrow, which is basically a stealth for non-stealthers.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds pretty amazing. And this one is different in that it does cost stamina, and it takes a bar slot. So I will actually load it out onto my bar. Whereas the duelist one in the new, when we get the new power bars in, it's not gonna. It's just it's a new
free.
bar.
It's a free slot.
It's a free slot, and you basically press whatever you have it bound to, Y or U, whatever, to get into your stealth bar. And their duelist stealth is not on the, not a power slot. So for those guys, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so there could always be 10 Ganeshans
Yes,
hiding somewhere.
there will always be more Ganeshans than you know about. So for the duelists, saltpeter rounds is probably useful. It's not an ultimate. I still haven't had Lars change this icon. He drew it as an ultimate. It is not an ultimate. It's just a buff. And while this buff is active, any pistol attacks have a chance to apply a movement speed reduction for the next 30 seconds and increases your distance for your ranged attacks by 5 meters. Okay, let's see. Okay, no good questions to answer, so that's okay. So we're going to show this in action. I am going to actually... Oh, the plate set on these guys
So good.
is so good. And this is, in fact...
Very dandy.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
This is, in fact, a Ganetian knight
I love him.
with his little mace.
And his
Ah,
shield.
God.
Perfect.
Whack. Yeah, so they still need to hook up the weapon trails as part of the race class split work that they've done, but very clearly, I am a Ganetian
Blocking and hitting.
blocking and hitting and jabbing.
Knighting
and
away. Knighting it up.
So, will his burrow drain stamina only when he's moving, or the entire time that he's burrowing?
the entire time. So burrow is a toggle power. Everyone should be somewhat familiar with toggle powers now. You turn it on, and it stays on until it either cancels or you do something or whatever. Basically, someone knocks you out of it, and then it's going to turn it off. But it's a power that takes me 2 seconds to dig into the ground, and
There he is.
now I am burrowed. And as you all know what burrow does, his moves a little bit slower, I think, than the duelist. While he's underground, no one can see me. I'm the only one who can see my dirt mound. Everybody else can't see that.
No tunnel porting?
He has no tunnel porting. I mean, that's not a racial
Right.
thing. In the new power bar, since it's a toggle power, there's a little glowy effect that happens on top of one of the active toggles. And as you see, his stamina bar is slowly draining over time.
Slowly but surely. So there's no sitting in your tunnel for eternity.
Right.
You got to come up for air.
He's got to come up for air. And so the same rules apply as stealthers. If he gets hit, he can get knocked out of his burrow. If he does a harmful action, he will get popped out. So if I left click, boom, it's going to pop me out of my burrow.
Out of there.
So it's not quite as awesome as Duelist Stealth because he doesn't have any special tray that he goes into with special powers. But being a knight and being able to burrow
Pretty cool.
is still pretty cool. Can
You're
I
in combat.
Can I not turn it out unless I'm... Yeah, I have to actually be out of combat to turn it off. There's a couple new things we're working through. Obviously, the dust not going away
Yeah.
is a thing.
That's under the big banner of fixing stealth stuff.
Fixing stealth stuff, and there's a couple tech asks we have for all of the racial stuff. So I'm not a duelist, so I'm not going to demo his other power, which is the saltpeter rounds.
Because you don't have a gun?
Because I don't have a gun. Oh, he's interesting because as a knight, he automatically comes with block loaded out. But let's say I don't want to be a blocking knight. Let me get that to drag on there. There we go. Whoop. Whoa, what is
Boing, boing,
that?
Boing, boing.
So I can
you
do
go.
you know that the old duelist dodge.
So you're a dodging duelist knight who can burrow.
Yep, but I don't have block when I do that, right? I loaded it out and I don't have block anymore.
Which is a pretty big that's a pretty big sacrifice.
Yes.
But, it's up to you. The choice is yours.
Yeah, because his other option is cleric and duelist. So I don't know that I want to give up the cleric block for dodge, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, I mean, really depends on the situation, right? Might be a situation where you're going to have to move around a lot, and there's not going to be a lot of turtling.
Yep.
Maybe it's worth throwing on your bar.
Somebody said they get a snorkel.
A snorkel.
A huge knight issue, only able to turn off burrow and restore stamina regen by switching to out of combat. Huge. Huge. Yes, it's huge. Well, you know what you do then.
You hit 5.
You turn out. You get out of combat and you restore your stamina and you turn it off. I mean, everyone has to turn it off. Turn off their toggles like this. Even the wood elf has to do that as well. Okay, so we've shown the knight. Let's show
Kittens?
kittens will be coming up, but not quite yet. So last time we showed the Minotaur, and I didn't have his bloodline on him, as well as I didn't get a chance to demo the Bloodlust, but we'll show it this time.
Cut off Halash.
They don't shift over.
They don't? Alright,
That's
can you
the
tell them we get them to the shift back?
Gotcha.
Can you guys shift over to your right?
A little bit more.
He doesn't like the little tiny piece of window.
Oh, the piece of window. Not the piece of window.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Yes.
That good?
Just don't go any more this direction,
Yeah.
or it's just gonna be half a Halash, and we don't want
I
that.
don't know that
No,
it's
half
really
Halash.
I think it's Blair pushing him off the bed.
Yep.
I think we're
As he steals the cover.
So let's go for, we're going back into Greybox Kingdom, and we're going to show the Minotaur Myrmidon.
Make the window small.
Minotaur Myrmidon.
So our options up here, as you see, we get to pick. Unfortunately, it doesn't validate for us quite yet, so you can make a bad choice and end up with...
nothing.
Yes, that's not a good one. Okay, Jack, can you give us some kittens?
I can do that. Kittens are up. Let me know when you no longer need kittens on the screen.
We always need kittens on the screen.
Leave the kittens up.
Need the kittens up forever.
Put the kittens over Blair and Halash.
Yep. So this is our friend Myrmidon. Let me go get down into the
Get down to the disco.
yeah. It's so this world that we're playing in is a prettier version of our gray box world, and we load up out of range of all of our toys.
Todd said, "Dear God, enough with the cats."
More Crowfall, please. Are you
Okay.
done?
All
Are
right,
you done
yeah,
with them?
We're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I just didn't want to show me loading this area up. So I have changed this campfire to do fire damage instead of true damage, so it works with Bloodthirst, which is something I did a while ago. Okay, I've got 2 axes.
Look at both those.
Oh my goodness. Did Sam not fix that? I've got a head, but I'm
Kinda-
missing my body.
I gotta
Kinda
stand
missing.
up that bug.
Oh,
It's so
goodness.
creepy.
You're the spectral minotaur.
I'm a spectral minotaur. Okay, well, we can at least look at his. Let me go full screen.
Click.
Sure, he's not using his invisibility.
Ghost
Yes. Oops.
cow. Ghost cow.
So he gets dexterity.
Some decks.
So you'll notice that the stats that are granted to him are roughly 60 points less than what's granted to the Ganetian, who got 90 points. He gets racial frontal stun immunity, so you will not be able to stun a Minotaur from the front. You'll have to get behind him, and that's tech that we're anticipating come online with the Assassin. Once we get the directional based hits, so you will not be able to stun a Minotaur from the front. He gets the dodge like everybody else, and he gets Bloodthirst. Now, since we are on a Minotaur, I'm still going to show you how this one works. If I can get it to... Does it not want to go into... There we go. I don't know why they want to go into... And I need to load out his dodge, because everybody needs to load out their dodge now. And, yep, grants immunity to all stun effects that hit you from the front. Okay. So if I... Oh, let me hover over this guy. So Bloodthirst, you continually recover 50% of all lost health for 8 seconds. When the effect ends, you suffer Bloodthirst Crash and take 50% of lost health over the next 8 seconds. So basically, he is going to... When I activate this guy, you'll notice that all the damage that I'm taking, I'm getting 50% of it back. 3, 2, 1. And then when I'm out of it, now every second I suffer a dot tick. So it's nowhere near as good as Berserk, but you can use this as a champion or one of the other Myrmidon or Minotaur options.
And basically, that lets you buy some time.
Yes. Basically, it gives you your healers time to get you back up and do whatever they need to do so you don't die. but it's still a pretty cool one.
Do you have any like combo abilities that you can use on these guys that'll look cool?
Do we have any what?
Combo abilities instead of just like limb.
Like doing a whirlwind?
I like the Ghost Cow Whirlwind.
Yep, he still seems to work normally. See, that guy is facing me now. That's why I said it was creepy earlier.
It is creepy.
The target
He's like, "Hey,
dummies
hey."
are now like, you.
I know what you did.
Like
You-
they want to watch you while you beat them up, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a. I don't know, and they only do it in this scene. They don't do it in Greybox World. I'm just kind of I'm a little bit at a loss as to why they're doing that.
Maybe this area has pathing or something? Versus...
They should have the same scripts.
Right. They may not have pathing information,
Maybe.
so they can't.
So they're just
They can actually move, but not move. I don't know. Guess I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay. What if you use Berserk and the Racial at the same time? Well, you can't. So you'll notice when I activate Bloodthirst, it puts cooldown on Berserk. So we now have the ability to make abilities fire cooldowns on other abilities. So we just don't let you do that. And in fact, I mean, it's still probably not long enough on Berserk because you can use the Racial and then instantly go into a Berserker. So that cooldown probably needs to be a little bit longer. Otherwise, you're going to be immune forever, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have. It looks like you're activating both of them. So I mean, there's no way to really cheese it, right? I mean, you can either keep rolling.
Yeah, interesting. Does it keep adding time?
Yeah, it looks
too?
like it's adding time, but so we'll have to look and see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. another deterrent to trying to cheat. I'm
Yes.
sure that'll.
We probably should put a cap on the max amount of time that we're allowed to ever send an ability to. Man, you can make that one go really high. So yes,
So
we
needless to say, yes.
yeah, needless to say, we have a way to combine cooldowns on multiple powers.
Is there anything you can tell us about High Elves?
No, we're not ready to show the high elves yet because we don't even. We've built the passive, but we don't have the model yet.
I liked the question about mass. Will mass influence being a Ganesha Knight at all? Like using chain pull and other abilities?
Ideally, it should. I'd like to get some of that functionality working again. We still are adding, like block, for example, is increasing your mass. We still have powers in there that increase your mass, just for the physics stuff. Okay, so we've seen him. Now let's go check out the half giant.
Half giant, right?
Yeah, so this was kind of, we've seen some of pieces of him before. Now the half giant's in a better state. And we'll show the half giant. Which his big thing is he grows a whole lot. Because in the past, the half giant was the champion. So we've given him some of the functionality of the Ultimate Warrior, kind of like we did with the Myrmidon, who's his thing is kind of a mini Berserk. The half giant gets kind of a mini Ultimate Warrior. Greybox World Kingdom.
So it's more like the penultimate warrior.
Yeah, the Elkin model is being rigged as we speak.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Half giant, Myrmidon, male. Yeah, today's the first day I've actually played the half giant as a Myrmidon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm assuming you want kittens up.
Yeah, I need him for like a split second here.
All right. Let me know when you're done.
Okay, are they up?
Yes, they're up.
Done.
I'm done. Done. I'm just going to get him down near the fight area.
It's very foggy down there in the valley.
Yeah, Melissa said the fog was in too close. There was some setting that they were tweaking. Okay, now that we're in this area, we're going to show fighting some stuff. Let's look at what we're actually giving him. So, wow, he gets 60 to strength and 60 to constitution, so he gets
Lots of stats.
he gets a big chunk of stats. He gets the damage bonus when suffering small hits as part of his bloodline. So that was kind of the, unless you hit him for a damage amount over a certain amount, he just gets mad. You're making the giant mad. So he starts to get a damage bonus if you hit him with a bunch of small hits. He gets the dodge roll. He gets backhand, which is a instant, basically, stun. And then he gets Blood of the Giant, which is a hatred builder, which increases his damage and size. So we can see backhand deals damage and it stuns. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the bar.
You gotta put the. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just doesn't want to. Okay, we'll load that guy out. And then we can talk about this one. Oops. When damaged for less than 200 hit points, you get a stack of Making Me Mad. If you gain 5 stacks in 30 seconds, Giant Smash is applied, which increases your damage bonus by 10%, increases your size for 20 seconds. Giant Smash also instantly restores class appropriate resource. So that's a pretty fun. Oh, move the mic. Is it in the way or is it too low? Oh,
It's just barely in the shot.
can you lift up the mic a little bit over there, guys? Gibson.
Mic in the shot?
It's that
Oh,
little
yeah, I see.
push up on a little bit.
Yeah, the boom mic. Thanks, guys.
That's. I think that.
It's still there. Which one do I undo the thing?
Anyways, so while they're doing that, let's go ahead and since he is a Myrmidon, he needs 2 weapons.
Look at that.
Let's give him 2 axes because hey,
Axe and another axe.
you know what? He doesn't have his dodge roll loaded out. Let's load that out.
Boom, look at that. Dual wielding half giant.
Dual wield and half giant, and these guys have really high armor, so we don't kill them. But I'm just banging on him so I can get enough.
Apparently no bleed defense though.
So I can get enough to.
Blood of the
that
giant!
out.
Words!
So then we're gonna make him really big again. Ugh. So yeah, he's pretty big when you look at him compared to Legionnaire now, and if you compare him to, let's say,
Myrmidon.
yeah, he's really
Three.
big.
2 heads taller.
And if you do something like his Pulverize, it's pretty ridiculous,
Yeah.
so to speak. Yeah, he is. The effect is dying early on that one. We got to talk to Greg about that.
you run out of fury. And so the ability canceled, but it didn't cancel the animation. It
Ah.
appears. Perhaps the animator does not know.
So I can pull one of these guys closer. Get over here. Yep, he's a Myrmidon.
Myrmidon and up.
Let's go that, and then let's go Berserk. Get some Fury regen going. Yeah. Okay, and he gets hatred awfully quick.
Hmm?
We might need to. He generates
He has the
hatred.
same amount of hatred as everybody else, Thomas Blair.
Well, no, same amount as the
As the Myrmidon.
As the the hatred for the racial.
Oh, hatred. Oh, I thought you
Hatred, yeah,
said
not,
fury.
not fury, hatred. Yeah, he generates hatred pretty quick. And then we'll just show his 7 attack is that, boom, that instant smash stun, because he's
A great big giant,
a great big giant.
or at least half of great big giant.
Yeah, put his armor on. I'm afraid of what would happen if I were to put his armor on, if his skin would go away.
Well,
Because that seems to be a pretty universal bug in this branch right now.
there's only one way to find out. Well, look at that.
His
We
head's
got it-
there.
We got it, as far as we know.
As far as we know. Oh, hey, look.
That's not so bad.
That's
That's-
fine, right?
Sort of a little bit of clipping going on.
There's some clipping going on there. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's that hunch forward pose with
Probably.
the dual weapons.
Probably, yeah.
They want you to use the
Yeah, it's a little bit.
the
Yeah.
number one ability.
The number one.
The number one.
Oh, he doesn't have an animation for it yet, so we need to.
You just gonna
Right.
scoot.
He's just gonna scoot and then do the pop up. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. It takes him like 3 hits.
This is
I mean,
Myrmidon class, right?
This is
Correct.
the Myrmidon class, correct?
oh, the champion. That does seem really fast, right? Because I mean, I know the champion fills up super quickly. But is it more
Yeah.
quick than? Is it quicker than that? I don't know. We have to look.
Is
I
it
mean,
because none of the weapons don't?
No,
maybe-
that's in the passive, right? I mean, that's being applied as, or was being, like
Sure.
the champion is applied in the champion's
But
passive.
the
so I
the
presume-
champion's basic attacks are a little bit slower than this
Right.
because he
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
that is a thing.
basically he swings faster because the Myrmidon has the axes and was set to attack
Right.
faster, whereas the champion has a two-hander and generally attacked pretty slow,
That is why we normalize.
which is why we're gonna have to normalize that. Yeah, and I don't have anything that well, actually, will the fire hit me?
The fire will hit you for pain.
Yeah, but I want to feel. Yeah, so making me angry. You'll see making me angry is getting stacks.
Okay, sure.
That's just because I temporarily set the fire to
Be
fire
fire.
damage rather than true. The true damage normally wouldn't trigger this, but you see he's already making me angry to 4, making me 5. Now he's giant smashing. Let's see what happens because this should give him the 3rd growth state.
Of course, now you're not gaining.
Interesting. I'm not gaining hatred. I wonder if there's something turning it off when I'm in.
Oh, are you the 2nd stage? Yeah.
Yeah, I was already 2nd stage. Okay. So technically, as far as our growth system goes, that considers you growth plus 3. But what's interesting is and then if you got hit with a nature's avatar, that would make you grow even more. Yeah, I definitely felt the grow. The grows get a little smaller on the final stages because we don't want to make you so ridiculous.
So the half giant champion, will they have Blood of Giant and Ultimate Warrior, and can they both be active at the same time?
No, they do not stack.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
like
it's like-
just like Berserk and Bloodthirst don't stack.
You're basically making a choice, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably going to always want to go with the out-of-the-box class version is going to be more powerful,
Yep.
generally speaking.
Okay, so I have the max. I definitely feel like I'm making me angry. Yeah, this is the max growth state. Oh, am I so big that I'm?
You've lost the ability to be
Yeah,
agile.
I definitely feel like I'm. Good God, look at how big
You're a
he's.
very large man. You're a very, very large man.
So assuming that we have mass, will you be gaining mass every time you
Yes.
roll too?
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of curious why. It definitely felt like the ground was resisting my movement, even though that shouldn't be a thing anymore. I definitely felt like I wasn't moving as fast.
Well, that's just an effect of being big.
Well, true, but it actually felt like I had a little bit of drag there.
That's why you always feel like you're hauling ass on the Ganesian, because you're
Yeah. Oh.
little tiny.
Our 10-minute suicide happened. All the NPCs died. Have to wait for those guys to respawn. I'll beat on these guys.
Can the Myrmidon use 2 swords?
Myrmidons cannot use dual swords. They can use...
Axes and maces, right? Up
Yes,
there.
you can equip an axe and a mace. That way you get the benefits of both the maces and the axe training lines. Okay, I have the big one.
Boom.
Boom.
Big. And you're just lumbering around. Come back here, you.
You might want to put a little bit of a movement buff on there so it doesn't feel so... Yeah, you know what? When I do a dodge roll in this stage, it doesn't want to... I wonder what that is.
Something for Andy to look at.
Yep, that looks like an engineering bug. I wonder what happens...
I wonder if it's considering you above
I just want to see where
or
the...
something. Yeah, well, clearly it's not going to move.
Yeah, but it actually is increasing in size.
Oh, your capsule, right?
Yeah.
I would hope so. Yep. Oh yeah, got bigger again.
Oh yeah.
Will making me angry
Yeah.
stack with Ultimate Warrior?
Making me angry stack with Ultimate Warrior. Yes, it should. That one should. He's so ridiculously big. Boop.
Can you find? I was gonna say, can you find another half giant to stand next to, just to compare?
When I'm at big size.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did we not put one in the lineup?
I guess not. I didn't see one.
Oh, there.
Oh wait, unless there's somewhere there.
No.
I must have forgotten
Yeah, he's not
why
in the
the
lineup.
half giant hate.
Sad.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. I mean, I'm just a little bit bigger than a knight when I'm
About the same size as a Myrmidon.
as a Myrmidon hunched over. Yeah, the dodge roll works fine when I'm at this size.
Yeah, what if it thinks you're not grounded or something?
Yeah, that would be my first thing. Is like, you are so big.
You're so far above the ground that
I can do it in this phase. It's just that final one where it gets too big. But yeah, if you remember before, I was... And then there's the knight comparison. Big stuff. You're turning violet, Violet. From Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Good reference. Any plans for outputting combat numbers to logical logs so we can min-max more? Yeah, at some point we definitely want to get a combat log. It's just on the bottom of the list. Our target dummy's coming to EK soon. We're waiting on some art to make it look pretty rather than the kind of stuff that we accept, but that's because we're in a testing environment.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Don't
just...
care what it looks like.
Yep. What would a half giant in stage 2 look like while riding a horse?
Probably big.
Probably big. If it's an art problem, we may be asked to make them not able to do that while they are mounted. Certainly, we can prevent powers from happening while you're mounted, and we can prevent you mounting if you are in that. Stage 2 only lasts 30 seconds, and then we kick you back down to the first size.
That's one of those. We'll have to see.
Yep. What else we got? Can Myrmidon use 2 swords? No, it cannot. What the answer now? Minotaur gets dex, but the half giant gets strength and con. I think strength and con, and you can speak to this more, is the is all part of the human or the man race tree, which is Nathari, humans, half elves, and half giants. Their predominant stats are strength and con.
Right. And just because and who gets what vessel wise, some of these guys are going to be better out of the box, and some of them will have get their stats later on, basically from their trees. So really, it's some basically some races take longer to come to their own than others. The half giant being one of the ones that they get their stats more up front than buried in the trees.
Yes, you can see he's kind of not so bright.
He's not very smart.
He's not very bright. Yes. Will you be adding a flinch response when a character is struck? Most of the characters have the additive hit animations when I get hit.
Yeah, if you mean a stun, probably not. If you're talking hit reactions, we should have hit reactions. If you're not seeing them, let us know.
Why is his strength 40 if he gets 60 from his bloodline? Good question. The engineer who's working on hooking up these equipment stats still hasn't finished that. So anything coming from the statistics portion is not being applied yet, and he was working on that this week. So by the time you guys see it, that will actually be getting applied. Do you dye your hair, or is it just white in general? My hair is gray, and it started growing gray when I was 16, and it's just been gray. 2 little spots, and now it's kind of all gray. I do not dye it white. It must be the lighting that's...
Lighter
Well,
here.
yeah, I
It
think...
also looks a little bluish, which is kind of cool.
Right, we were
Well, that's
remarking-
because of this camera.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's maybe you should think about that.
You
Go
should.
with a little bit of blue. I can help get you set up with some dye.
Thanks, Jack.
You have to be at least in your 80s to have blue hair, I think.
I had blue
Wait.
hair once.
Come on, blue's a popular color, actually.
Am I 80?
Must be going backwards, Benjamin buttoning you.
Are the racial contributions to stats like strength, dex, and int coming only from the racial discs and the skill tree?
Say again? Are the racial...
Contributions to these guys only coming from the racial and the skill tree.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
Yep.
Vessels and the skill trees are
Yep.
where your attributes come from.
That is in fact correct.
It's pretty much the purview of the necromancer, and to a lesser degree, alchemist for the philosopher's stone, and then the rest of it is incumbent upon you to work your way through the trees of your favor.
Yeah, attributes are only given in very specific spots. Billy tried to say something in global. Oh, that's
Oh, build out and
Bill is working on chat system stuff right now, which is probably why we picked up him.
why
Just
he said JJD.
why
whatever
he
that
said
means.
JJD in global. I thought those passive had to be placed on the passive bar to become active, so the bloodline passive should be on the passive bar. No. Actually, the bloodline passive is a special type of passive. It is always active, and in an upcoming revision to this, we're going to put another slot here, and it's already going to be preloaded out, and you will never be able to remove it. It will have something special indicating that you can't remove it, but our idea is everybody gets a bloodline passive for their race for free.
And it's always there.
And it's always there, and it's always active, and you don't even need to load it out, but it is definitely there. What will rings give? How big is the Ganeshan +1 ring slot?
Rings will give stats.
Rings, rings will give, yes, they will give stats, and it will be,
A lot of it will be dependent upon what you put on them.
yep, it's one more way that you can customize the specific stats on a character. Crafting stats, harvesting stats, combat stats, what kind of combat stats, what kind of harvesting stats. It's just one more stat, just like the, I think the high elves get an additional equipment slot, and the The Centaur.
Gets, Centaur.
The Centaur gets
Said
the
Legionnaire
You said
again.
the Legionnaire
Yeah.
again. He's a Centaur.
Centaur.
The Centaur gets the horseshoe slot, and I think there might be one more.
Venetian ring, Centaur horseshoes.
There's a neck on one
Yeah.
of them. Anyways, they give a chunk of stats. Will there be server wipes?
Server wipes. I mean,
So
Not much for
between
live, but,
right now we're in our pre-alpha phase. Obviously, with the new skill tree stuff coming online, there's definitely going to be a global skill tree wipe. But after that, it remains to be seen how often we need them. This is actually going to be our first ever skill tree wipe. We've never had to do one, but basically to the level that we are deconstructing the trees.
yeah, they're just not compatible.
They're just
completely
not
different.
Yeah, so. Knights still get the cloak slot, yes? Yes, knight.
Okay, that was that the other one?
Yes.
That was the other one.
Knights get a cloak. And that one is actually, it's not knights that get a cloak. I believe it's just humans that get a cloak. So that is definitely, we ended up with, I think there was 2 problem pieces of equipment for us. There was the cloaks and where they would go to, and the pole weapons.
Oh, right.
Right, because nobody gets pole weapons except for we have the animations for centaurs because of the Legionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is do centaurs get pole weapons as a benefit for both of those pole arm mastery disciplines? Because there's a pole mace and there's a pole axe as one. And the answer is maybe.
Maybe. We'll
Because
see.
right now we can only do equipment checks based on class. We don't have the additional axes of race as well. So maybe. But yeah, it was funny. It was like we went through all of this, and those were the only 2 pieces of
Yeah.
equipment that
the odd ones out,
they just
basically.
didn't fit into any class.
Do the Nathari count as human for getting cloaks?
The Nathari are their own race.
Right,
They're-
but they're from humans, right?
Right.
So
Well,
their
type of
skill
thing.
trees are humans, but they are not humans.
Okay.
Humans are humans, Nathari are Nathari, half elves are half elves, and half giants are half giants. Their model is completely different, so and their race is completely different. Their racial disciplines are completely different. For skill purposes, however, they will fall under
The human.
the
archetype,
man,
whatever,
yeah, man into
It's human and half blood, half breed, whatever we're calling them.
okay. Nathari are into the human branch.
They're
of
under
it.
human, right?
I'm not sure about that minnow racial. It seems useless for Myrmidon, and my understanding correctly. Yeah, it's not so
Yeah.
useful for Myrmidons. However, for a Minotaur champion,
Totally cool.
it's totally useful, or whatever else class we give to the Minotaur. So, just like the
Yeah, the whatever ultimate warrior.
Yeah,
right?
the-
You probably wouldn't want to use that if you're a champion already because you have a better version of it.
correct.
Um,
However,
but I
when
mean, everybody gets multiple things, right? It's
Right.
not like that's the only thing you get.
which is definitely what again, if you look at the Ganetian, the racial burrow is
Sure.
useless for the duel.
Yeah,
The duelist gets a
way
way better version of stealth, however, which is why we gave them an additional one,
Right,
which
the-
is saltpeter rounds, which is the snare as well as the distance increase for ranged attack. So we definitely looked at that when building these. It was like, okay, let's make sure we cover all the bases and give everybody something interesting, even if their class gives them something better. But most races have at least 3 classes they can play.
Right.
Right? So they will be useful for many. Any tease about the half-elf? Half-elves get the best of elves and humans. And then I'll let you figure out what those are.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll show them in one of our next streams. But yeah, our idea between half-elves was not to make them kind of sucky. Generally, half-elf, as I've seen in the past, the racials for...
Yeah, it depends on what game you're playing, but yeah.
Our goal was to give them the best of the elves and the best of the humans. So...
Do Minotaurs still run at 6.5 meters per second and half giants at 5 meters per second? Do you know the answer to that?
Wait, what was the move
Run
speed?
speeds.
6.5 for Minotaurs
Yes.
and 5 for half giants.
Yes, because the half giants were under that. We're about to. I've got the ticket in for the movement speeds and the various modes as a discrete thing rather than a modifier. So we will look at speeds and see that they're still within reasonable amounts when we actually do that ticket. It'll be much easier for us to tune. Yeah, even though the lore says they were descended from humans, they are actually a different race. Completely different race, different model, different racial. Their racials are all centered around desert things because they're desert people. So... half-elf mongrels can hang with the high elves, I guess. Man, so much hate for the half-bloods. Does growing in size reduce speed? If so, that might explain why your hit growth 3 and your roll goes 0 distance.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
No,
We're doing
your
anything
speed
bad.
is still set the same. It just feels like you're going slower because you're so much bigger.
It's
And
an
we-
optical illusion, basically. I
Yeah.
mean, you'll even notice maybe a little bit of foot sliding at the super.
the 1.65,
Yeah.
the biggest one.
Yeah, tiny bit. But
Yeah, you are actually, we don't change the movement speeds based on size, which we may need to, or we may need to look at the actual not going so big is perhaps an option there. Do the pill hitboxes grow with the model when it increases in size?
yes, yes, they do.
They should uniformly scale, because it's just a pill.
Yeah.
So-
In fact, we saw that earlier when you were looking at the. To see the.
Yep. Wood elves are the low elves.
The low elves.
Ah, wait.
The slumlord elves. Is that,
I
is
thought
that what
that
you're
was
saying?
I thought that was supposed to be the half elves. Well, the
I
wood
think,
elves,
yeah, I think it'd be the half elves.
The-
The Wood Elves are the hippies.
but the wood elves get camouflage and they get trail master. I mean, wood elves get some really good racials.
Yeah, they're
Like everybody
very
else,
solid.
everyone gets very good racials.
This is a 5-minute warning for you guys.
Can we see the revamped class skill race trees today? In fact,
I mean, they're in. I don't know if they're accessible.
no. So what we showed at the last stream, that data that Billy had started the rig for us, we lost all of that when the merge came back from the
Yeah.
hotfix branch.
Yes, and the quick select is not in there anymore.
Correct.
So-
However, in the segment coming up in the next 10 minutes, you guys will get to see the updated skill tree navigation, which is really exciting. I believe that stream is Billy featuring Lars, and they're going to show you a whole bunch of exciting UI stuff, including the new updated navigation for the skill trees. And yeah, it really sucked because Billy came over and was like, we lost all of the data for that because it had to get stomped when we merged back over. However, that was also the day we started chewing away at the updated design for how you navigate the skill trees, and it is
Right.
way cooler. Looks way.
Oh yeah. You guys are gonna really like.
You guys will really like it, and it's just it gets rid of a lot of the weird problems with children trees hidden at the end of a
It
tree.
just looks very next gen. Very
Mhm.
good.
So you guys will see that in the next segment. Lars is the up and coming hotness. Yes. No, Billy is actually listening. Oh, and speak of Lars, here's Lars himself to set up. Do you guys license Unity source code or do all of the programming in C#? We do all. We do not have the source code. We do everything in C#. So I noticed your net pull has yet to fail. Can you confirm the fix to net and chain pull?
So this might be related to targeting stuff we've been seeing.
I mean, yeah. Now maybe because it was a standing target and I was standing
Yeah.
still, it was easier for me to hit.
Possibly. I mean, so I want to say part of the problems were intermittent issues with movement that have since been sussed out. As far as I know, NetPool is working now. So
Now the teleport there didn't seem to work very
Yeah.
well. However, the pull
the teleports. Yeah, forget about it.
that teleport worked. I don't know why the one to this one did
You
not.
didn't roll a high enough value on your teleport to target skill.
Oh, see, that one took me half the distance. Maybe it was no, the train.
No, don't even.
No, I'm like, all right, trying to reason it. It's
There's no rationality.
okay. Definitely something that needs some.
Engineer and love.
See, Strather says when stuff got yanked, it would only come halfway. So in that case, when I got pulled, or when I teleported to it, I only went halfway. And now the NPCs are in their 10-minute despawn blow-up cycle. A lot of cases where we pull will teleport them back to their original spot. Okay. The video for this stream keeps freezing for me, while on other streams it's fine. You know what? It was freezing for me on my machine at my desk, and I had to keep killing Firefox.
I haven't had any issues.
So,
Oh snap!
but then again, I was also running Unity, and Unity was going up to 22 gigs of memory, so
Yeah.
that could have been part of the issue too. Will the assassin make a sound effect that enemies can hear, like the burrow noise? Potentially.
I'll have to ask
Well,
Gibson. Gibson.
Well, ask Gibson. He's the sound man.
Gibson. Will the assassin make a noise when they enter stealth, like the burrow?
I stopped the freezing by turning off HTML5.
Will the assassin what?
Make a noise.
I don't know. Will he?
Am I on the wheel this time?
Yes.
She? He? She?
I don't know.
She and or he.
The stream is too awesome for you. Okay. And now we are at the time where we should swap over to Todd. And we have shown you the race stuff. There's a couple more that we will show you in the future as we decide to release them. Because we still haven't shown all of them. And in some cases, we don't have the rig yet.
Yeah.
We-
There's also that.
There's also that we don't have the rig. So we're going to flip back over to Todd. Thanks for...
Okay. Hitting the head with the mic.
Yeah, get it.
Pop.